The sirens, they were screaming so loud.
Life safety is first and foremost. All occupants are out.
So I saw them build it, and now I'm seeing it engulfed in flames.
JS11 News from the Sky 11 drone this morning. Teams of Louisville firefighters elevated high above the smoldering luxury apartment complex east of downtown. The fire department pouring water for hours into the 9-year-old apartment building. 37 units occupied. The building is totaled, but the alarms went off and everyone got out safely. And it started about 6 this morning in the 310 at New Lou apartment complex on South Hancock at Jefferson. That's just east of I-65 downtown. You can see in red the building we're talking about. Firefighters tonight saying it is destroyed. Now, take a look at this. If you were driving toward Louisville this morning, you may have seen this scene. The massive plume of smoke crossing the city, stretching high into the sky, covering Louisville in a cloudy haze. WHAS 11 News has been covering the devastating fire since this morning. The Louisville Fire Chief has been giving updates throughout the day. It's our top story for you at 6. Hello, everyone. I'm Doug Proffitt. The good news, again, we can't say it enough. No one is hurt, and that includes firefighters. WHAS 11's Jose Alonso and photojournalist Jessica Farley are at the scene right now at the moment. And Jose, the fire chief in an afternoon news conference gave some thoughts about what may have contributed to the spread of the fire. What did he say?
Yes, Doug, that's correct. That was around noon earlier today. He did say that when compared to fighting fires around this area, that this new structure seemed to have caught fire a lot quicker than when they would fight fires in older buildings instead. Now, of course, this is all contributing to how everything is structured. But of course, we're here at 310 at New Lou apartment complexes, and this is just off of Liberty and Hancock streets. And at this moment, the scene is still pretty calm. We're talking about 12 hours later. LMPD has left, but LFD is still here, and they're blocking off the area. So if you're coming through here, make sure to avoid it. But I do want to get to the story. That is where I spoke to one of the neighbors who shared with us some vivid images she took at 6 a.m. of those flames.
To report a commercial structure fire, 605 Ballard Street.
These images speak for themselves.
We got heavy fire in the attic.
Flames bursting out of one of 310 at New Lou apartment complex's buildings around 6 a.m. while firefighters battled the flames from above. Emma Litton told me she woke up to the sound of multiple sirens.
The whole thing is engulfed in fire, like you see.
Operations, all units exit the structure. We're going to transition to defensive operations. Exit the building, all floors.
From the Sky 11 drone, water could be seen streaming down from the ladder trucks through the open rooftop. Fire Chief Brian O'Neill says all units were evacuated just in time before flames engulfed the building. Later in the day, after being on scene, the chief compared older buildings to the newly constructed apartments like this one.
Lightweight truss construction like this, once it gets going a little bit, it's going to take the whole structure very, very quickly. It's something that isn't as common. You see us here in the urban core fighting fire in buildings that are oftentimes 50 years or older. And the fact is, construction was better back then.
310 at New Lou Apartments opened in 2015. As you can see here, water was pouring out of an upper floor apartment as firefighters were relentless in their efforts.
I also have to say that the management company has been doing a very good job working with the people, helping that, and trying to get them rehoused as well.
Officials say that the fire started in an area where safety detectors don't typically pick up. Firefighters say the first report came in right before 3 a.m. of an odor, and then at 6:15 a.m. a report that the front eaves were on fire.
So if fire is, of course, in a living area, you're going to get an alarm. If it's in an evacuation space, you're going to get sprinklers. But if it's in a void space, it's going to run through the walls, through the floors, and it's going to be difficult to get a hold of.
Thankfully, no injuries were reported and no rescues were conducted. Concerns that Emma had when she saw the massive flames.
You don't want nobody to be in there, So that and the smoke was so intense too. And one of my neighbors, I went and I got her a mask too, because the black smoke was just so intense.
Now, I do want to describe the scene again right here. We're talking about 12 hours later. Right now, the fire department is still out here assessing what's going on. We can see a group of them right over there. There is still red tape across this entire building because there's still a looming threat of this building possibly collapsing in on itself. Several floors, from officials, they told us, several floors have already fallen into each other within that building. They've been spraying that water up top of the roof this entire time downwards. But I do also want to talk about those who are displaced here at this apartment complex. Red Cross did talk to us. They said that they're assessing the situation with everyone who was displaced, along with management, to see if there's any empty units that they can utilize while they're dealing with this process right now. And Red Cross said that if they don't have enough units, that they're going to go ahead and step in and make sure that everyone has somewhere to lay their head tonight. And LFD also did tell us that arson is investigating this fire. Reporting live in Louisville, I'm Jose Alonso, WHS 11 on your side.